Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Acres of Clay. This morning I'm in my kitchen. I have my cup of coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I do like a cup in the morning. And it's still morning. We have kind of a busy day today. I have a bunch of stuff that needs to get in the oven, but this afternoon it's going to be a beautiful afternoon with the highs in the upper 40s, and the guys have decided they're gonna pour a load of concrete this afternoon. So Ethan's getting that all ready, and then we will pour it. Sanders has driver's ed during that time. So Sydney is gonna take him up there on his way to his job. Somebody's at the front door.
What's up your farm?
Sounds like we have calves out. Sanders is over here. Sanders is here. He's been working on his school, trying to get that done. We've got a project going on right here where we are actually building a new island, and I have some video of that.
So I got the split. I'm gonna put some shoes on. See if I can set it off with your help.
All the hard work that we went into building this 12 years ago.
And because my wife wants something new. So all we gotta do is split this, and then I'll pick the other end up, and then we'll see if it cracks.
Yeah, so this is what it looked like on this end. It has all the rebar that we put in, so it doesn't just
chicken wire.
Okay. Well, I call it it isn't rebar. Sorry.
Rebar is pretty big. That's
I
a
know
big project.
Okay, so wire. This is the wire that we put in. I don't know if all of it was chicken wire actually, because that's bigger than chicken wire.
I think we put some other stuff in.
But there is chicken wire in it.
But
and then we epoxied it, so there's quite a thick layer of that, a coating over it.
So
oh boy, that's not where you cracked it. So strong. We poured that concrete by hand.
Anything there?
Just little wires. Here, I can snip them.
You gonna snip them? That's what I was thinking.
Took that counter off this morning. Now they're working on,
Wow.
Oh.
Didn't prepare it.
You always gotta be ready. Now we're just gonna make it so I can have a sink of some sort.
Oh, we're sitting on the. Alright, that's gotta get cut.
Putting up the center part of the island. So this will be a set of cupboards, dishwasher, sink, cupboard, drawer, and then we'll have more coming out this way, but this will be the center. And so they're just kind of setting the structure at the moment. So here's how far we've gotten. We've got the area here where we're gonna have the dishwasher, the sink, and a set of drawers. That will be the front of this side. This is going to be a set of drawers right here coming out this way. And then there will be either open here or a small set of cupboards that are kind of hidden. We'll have those there.
Do you have a cup already?
I do. No, I don't. But we're getting supper ready. So Sanders is cooking tonight with his hat on. He's making bacon and egg sandwiches. So that's... It's all good. This is the new sink that we're going to be putting in. It is a 10-inch deep sink. It's 33 by 22 by 10-inch deep. And I had to take it out of the box, and now it sits here. It sounds like we've got to go feed some babies. And then when I get back in, I have bagels that I need to boil and then get them in the oven. I also made this huge bowl. Oh, it's 15 pounds of cookie dough. It's called Monster Cookies. I had some M&Ms, some peanut M&Ms, and I didn't want the guys just to eat them all, so I decided to stick them in some cookie dough, and so that's what I did. Made a huge batch. So I have to bake them up, and I'll probably put most of those in the freezer. And I also have the oven on that is getting hot so that I can put my sourdough bread in. My sourdough is still in the refrigerator. I keep it in there until I'm ready to bake it. But these are also sourdough. They're sourdough bagels. So I was hoping to have them baked by the time everybody came in for breakfast today, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Hey, bud. Bud.
Walked outside, had some calves out. I didn't get that on video. There's just a couple out, so we put them in, and then we fed the babies, and now this. Ethan was driving the skid loader, and then the belt broke on the skid loader in the middle of the road, and they're grading our road today because they obviously know that tomorrow it's gonna rain. Seems like that's how it always is, but yeah, it sits here until they find a new belt. All right, real quick change of plans. Sydney realized he does not have an extra belt this size. So I'm going to run to Bobcat real quick, pick one up. Not something that I expected this morning or really want to do, but I am sometimes a Go-Fer. I go for this and that, and I don't really mind. It's just I have to postpone all my baking. So the oven went off, the boiling water went off, and yeah, we'll make a quick trip, be back within an hour. Well, I got the new belt right here. Actually, I opened it up while I was there because I wanted to make sure it was the right one, because the last thing you want to do is get the wrong size and not know it until you get home. So that matches up with the broken one, and we're good to go. So now we can get the skid loader out of the middle of the road. All right, I'm back, and ready to finish what I had started. That's sometimes how it goes, is you just get called to do something else, which I'm perfectly fine with for the most part. My schedule is pretty flexible that way, and that's the way I like it. So I'm gonna finish what I was doing. I'm gonna get the sourdough bagels boiled. They have to boil for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna put the toppings on, stick them in a 425 degree oven for about 20-25 minutes, and then they'll be ready to eat. Today I think I'm just gonna top them with some cheese and maybe some sesame seeds. I have a pot of water here getting ready to boil, and it was boiling earlier, and then I'm gonna just add some brown sugar to it. And then I also add a tablespoon of baking soda. When you boil them before you bake them, that's where you get your kind of your chewy, yummy texture from. So I'm gonna get this up to a boil. All right, my water is starting to boil, so we're gonna go ahead and add my bagels. And I put about 3 in at a time. And I try to keep the hole a little bit open. That one I didn't, but it'll be okay. You can open it up. So I let these boil for about a minute on each side. All right, so they've been boiling for about a minute on each side. And I'm gonna pull these out. And I placed them right back on the cookie sheet that I took them off of. Now I made the dough yesterday, early in the morning, and then last night I shaped them, and then they've pretty much been rising all night long. So that's what they look like. So this is what they look like. The last ones are boiling at the moment, so I'm just putting cheese on these. And then I will probably do half with cheese and half with seeds, because I know that Sanders loves seeds. I also put a little bit of garlic salt on top of the seeds, and it kind of gives that everything bagel flavor. I know he loves everything bagels, so you can pretty much do whatever you like. And then I just use a mix of sesame seeds. That's what the guys like. And I like to do it right when they're still a little bit wet from the boil. That way it sticks. You can put just egg wash on them. You can put coarse salt on the top. Whatever you really want. The possibilities are endless. This is a monster cookie. So it has a lot of peanut butter and a lot of oatmeal. It's pretty much a peanut butter oatmeal cookie. And then I put some M&Ms in it, since we had some M&Ms left over from a gathering. So we're just gonna make a bunch of monster cookies, and then since this is about 15 pounds of cookie dough that I made right here, and I actually weighed it, and I'm probably gonna freeze the majority of these. We don't need that much sugar in our diets for the next couple days. So they will freeze, these will freeze really well. Now I have 2 Dutch ovens, very hot, 450 degrees in my oven, and I'm ready to bake my sourdough bread. This has been in the refrigerator overnight, so it is ready to go in the oven. I always like to make my dough early the day before, and then by evening I shape it and put it in the refrigerator. That helps slow down the fermentation that's happening. Also gives it a little time to rise. This has been in the refrigerator for a little bit longer than I normally do, but that's okay. And I also put sesame seeds on the top of this, just because we love the flavor of sesame seeds on our sourdough bread. So I usually just take this off. I find that the blade here is just easier to work with if you can just hold it in your hand. Sometimes I use it with the handle, but not always. So I'm gonna start with just small little marks, making it kind of look like wheat. And I do this on both the round and the oval loaves. This is my oval loaf. And then I'm just gonna take a deep cut right down the side of this. Okay. My cookies are done first. Here's my first batch of the monster cookies. You always want to start with putting your dough in cast iron that's already up to temperature. So mine's at 450 degrees. My second loaf is round. I just pop it out. I basically do the same thing with this one. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but and I do a cut right down the side here. Here are my finished bagels. So this is what they'll look like. So here's my finished sourdough. You can see the little design. This one over here. Now I don't overly bake mine. My guys don't like it super crispy. They prefer it to be a little bit softer on the outside. So I don't bake mine till they're really dark. But you can if you want to. But that's my sourdough bread. Well, I'm on the lookout for a concrete truck coming here shortly. I'm going to show you what we're going to pour this afternoon. Ethan spent all morning getting it ready, so I think it's ready, and yeah, we're good to go. I think we've got 4 spots, so let's take a look. So we're gonna pour out a little further here because this is the heifer barn and it's always a mud mess right here. The water naturally flows from up and goes down. That's just the way the land is. No, that is not our John Deere tractor. I know a lot of you will ask. It is not ours. So we're gonna pour out here further. Looks like they've put a spot there. So that will be nicer for when rain comes. Little spot here in front of the workshop. And last but not least, over here in front of the heifer barn, this is where it's always muddy. So yeah, they dug out the mud, and hopefully this will help, and it'll be easier when they feed, when we load heifers, all that fun stuff. So this looks good. They put wire mesh in the concrete. We don't have the wire to lay down, so we just put it right in the concrete. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Dakota's helping pack it. Make sure it's firm. Oh, it's her bed. We've had such a strange winter that we haven't had real deep frost in our soil. And this is the first year that both Kevin and I can remember that we've never had weight restrictions placed on our roads where they can only haul certain smaller loads. So if weight restrictions were on our roads right now, they could only haul like 3 yards of concrete, and we ordered 8 yards, so they can bring it all on one load because since there's no frost, we don't have the frost laws. So that's kind of a plus, but there's no frost in the ground. And we've had, I think Kevin was saying, Kevin, you were just saying that we had just gotten like 10 inches of rain already this year.
Well, we're up to 10 inches of rain, which we're a couple inches above average, and they're talking another inch here in a couple days. So, yeah, we're kind of off. This time of year, we're kind of wet.
Yeah.
Normally, right now, we kind of get a dry spell, kind of when the snow leaves and stuff. So, but I think I hear the truck.
Yep, I hear him. There he is. He got the memo. Well, you can tell I haven't done that in a while. I got hot, now I'm getting cold. I have to put my coat, my hat back on. Let me show you what we did as far as getting all the concrete poured. This is how far it went. This is the end of it. That looks good. That'll be nicer for when it gets heavy rains and they just run through here. So we got this all that is poured, and we got this little slab and the slab behind us. That didn't take too long.
No, because actually the water should flow. If you look right where you're standing.
Right where I'm standing.
Should be the bottom.
The low.
Low. And then I might have to clean out here a little bit. But that should flow.